Creative Mom Kamela here. So I'd like to take 10 minutes and show you some things in Design Space. Let's start 10 Minute Tuesday. Here we go. Fonts, all about fonts. So we just got a new canvas here, and let's go to text. That's where you'll find all your fonts. Let's grab a couple different ones here that will make this fun. This October Daylight is a fun one. I'm going to go ahead and write happy, or not. All right, let's grab another one. Let's do new. I'm using my caps on that. Happy New. And one more font here. The cursive ones are the best to show you. So I'm going to look for a font that we would use for writing. So over here on the side of your fonts, it kind of tells you about what they're good at. So single layer cutting, and then you'll have some that will say writing somewhere. So I'm going to uncheck this, and now we should be able to see what I'm talking about. This one says writing, this one says writing, so it tells you a little bit about your fonts. Let's go ahead and use this one. All right, so writing fonts don't come hooked together at all, as you can see. Although lots of cursive fonts do come together properly. So let's start with this one. And first thing I want to show you is these are all separate pieces. So if you cut this just like this, then you would be attaching each of these separately. So they are grouped together right now. Let's also say you're not a fan of how stacked up those P's are. Go to Ungroup, and I love to use my arrow keys. It helps keep everything in line. But of course you can use your positioning tools or the grid lines. You know, you can change your grids by up here in this corner. It changes things for you. All right, so let's go over one more time. So I'm just using my arrow over key and taking everything over. I think I even like that. So now we can group these back together. Before you send a project to be cut, for fonts like this, my recommendation is a weld. You may not always want that. You may want things to be different colors, which you can do when you're ungrouped. We could have changed these to any colors that we wanted. So we can just play around. And they can all be changed, and then you can group them back together. And these would all cut separately, so you could have each letter a different color. Or let's say you wanted to cut this all as one color. I'm going to change it all to purple. You can choose to weld down here. And look at that. I love the look of the flow. It's just beautiful. But I will recommend we click the undo button, and you don't weld things until right before you're ready to send them to mat. So there's some moving around and playing with this kind of a font. So let's talk about this one for a little bit. This one is a fun font to use for stenciling. So what I would do for a stencil is I would grab myself a shape and a box, and whatever size I wanted my stencil to be, I would take this box and unlock it, and I would stretch it the same size. And then select both those layers. So I did the drag and drop. You can also use your panel and click slice. And then you can cut this and use it as a stencil all together. You could also use your razor blade if you forgot to do that and just cut yourself a nice stencil. Or if it was large, you may be able to only do one at a time. All right, let's undo back out. That's my favorite way to use a font like this. So let's also talk about arranging sizes of different letters. And this one will let you see me do that well. So I ungrouped just like we did. And we could do the E. Well, you could even do it larger, like if you wanted to do initials, do the E larger. And that's all you need to do there, and arrange these. So I'm going to use my grid lines to arrange these to be the same. And tighten that up. And there we go. Now we have, or you could put it in the middle. I think I would like it better in the middle actually. But now we have the letters arranged for like initials or things like that. All right. So remember to group things together. If you don't do that, then you go to move and oh no, all your lining just went off. So we would click the undo and select everything in group. Now we can move the new over here. All right, let's talk about this writing font. I'm going to shrink this down out of our way a little more. Let's talk about this writing font. So writing fonts are great for using your markers, right? They're not great for cutting. The lines are too thin. I absolutely love using them. This is a great example of what happens though. If I would go to make it right now, it's going to draw these letters just like this. And that doesn't look right. So we're going to ungroup. And we're going to use our arrow keys again to attach these letters. And sometimes your arrow key just doesn't get it, so you do have to manually attach them. And that's just click and hold and use those arrow keys again. And sometimes you have to play with the overlap and what you're happy with there. So I might take this E a little further up so it doesn't look off balance. And every once in a while I even twist just a little. Beautiful. All right, so then you would select all of them. I'm going to bring that E back down. I got that lined up. Most of the time you can. Every once in a while bringing something up and down helps. I will say since they've added the kerning to attach cursive letters, it's been a huge help in my craft room. All right, so let's attach these three. Let's group them real quick and talk about this Y. I'm not a big fan of the handwriting on it. Let's see if we can find a cursive Y that will work. That one I already think looks much better. So that's how you can blend two different fonts. And it's simple and nobody would even know you did that, especially when you add the same color marker and you have them all attached together, which you're going to want to do. With writing fonts, you attach instead of weld. And there are our 3 quick tips on fonts. All right, so I want to show you one more thing before we turn this off. It's no secret that our Creative Mom team loves subscribing to Cricut Design Space Access. We are big fans of that. However, I'm going to add to that, we also really like design bundles, and I'm going to show you how to grab a font from them. So I went to design bundles. I'm an account subscriber, so I'm logged in, and you can do a couple different things. Of course, you can browse, but the first thing, to go to fonts, you need to go to more, whoops, and then fonts. And this takes you to font bundles. All right, just not quite as well known as design bundles. And then I love to browse the free fonts. They are one of my favorites, and I mean, I'm hooked. So I downloaded a couple while things were loading and I was waiting to start back. I know I'm terrible, but I wanted to show you how easy it is. So you do have to have an account, and I'm logged in, but you click download now, confirm, download now, and it comes down, that's it, download now and confirm, sorry. And it comes down here to the bottom right hand corner, and you can tell it's hey bee, hey butterfly. And then I also grabbed a Valentine one that's got hearts. I am getting ready to redo some art in my master bedroom, and so that one caught my eye. And then the night owl, which was right up here, caught my eye. All right, so once those are done downloading, you go back to Design Space and go to upload. Stop what I'm doing. That's not what you do. Fake. Go back to the canvas, close this program. So you actually do have to save and close this program. And then upload your fonts, okay? So we're going to completely close. All right, so then what we want to do is go to your folders. So wherever your folders are and wherever your downloads are, all right? And then you want to open the font in each folder, and there should be one in here. They always say open type and true type. I'm going to be honest. True type gives you better quality. It just is what it is. I don't really know the science behind it. So you open it and then you click install. And once that installs, it will be available in your Cricut design space to use. And I'll show you as soon as I load Cricut design space. All right, so then just add text like you normally would, and you can search for it. So we can search, hey, butterfly, and hey, butterfly is ready for use. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was super fun. I'll see you next Tuesday for a 10-minute Tuesday in Design Space. Have a joyful day. Bye-bye.